My name is Hannah. I am 23 years old and I live in Chicago. My life began in silence. I grew up in a small, quiet house. I always felt alone. There was a woman named Denise who took care of me. I believed she was my mother, but she never held me. She never smiled at me with love. Every single day I waited for her affection. She never looked at me the way a mother should look at her child. I longed for warmth, I longed for love, but all I ever received was coldness and silence. She treated me like I was simply there, like furniture in the room. Denise never acted like a mother. She never cared about my birthday. She never told me I was beautiful. She didn't even listen when I tried to speak. I felt like a shadow in her house, but I still held on to hope that someday she would love me. I did everything to make her proud. I cleaned, I cooked, I stayed quiet. I wanted her to see me, but she never did. And I never imagined that one day she would hurt me in a way no one should ever be hurt. I had no idea my life was about to become a nightmare. When I turned 18, everything changed. One night I heard Denise on the phone in her bedroom. I stood near the door and listened. Her words shattered my heart. She said, "She's young, she's clean, she'll do what she's told. Cash only." My body went cold. My hands started shaking. I didn't understand everything, but I knew she was talking about me. I felt it in my bones. My heart pounded faster. I wanted to scream, but I stayed silent. I cried without making a sound. My whole world began to collapse. The next day, Denise looked at me differently. She said, "You're 18 now, it's time you help me earn some money." Her eyes were cold, her voice was firm. She told me to put on makeup. She picked out a dress for me. She said I needed to look pretty. I didn't understand what was happening. She took me to a large house. Inside, a man was waiting. He looked at me strangely. I felt afraid. I wanted to run, but I had no one. I had nowhere to go. I felt like a bird with no wings. The man smiled, but it wasn't a kind smile. Denise left the room. I was alone with him. He came closer. I begged him. I said, "Please, I can clean. I'll do anything. Just respect my body." But he didn't listen. He only cared about what he wanted. He used me. He treated me like I wasn't human. I felt broken. When it was over, I cried. I didn't even recognize myself. I wasn't a person to him, just something to use and throw away. My soul was wounded. When Denise came back, she handed me money. She said, "Take it." I looked at it, threw it on the floor, and screamed. "I lost everything today. What could possibly fix this?" I cried like a child. She laughed. She said, "This is only the beginning." Her words cut straight through me. That night I couldn't sleep. My whole body felt weak. I wanted to disappear. I didn't know what to do. I hated myself. I felt filthy. I felt worthless. I asked myself, is this all a woman is good for? I felt like I was dying inside, piece by piece. Another man came a few days later. Denise took money from him too and left me alone with him again. But this man seemed different. He seemed gentle. When he walked into the room, I was nervous. My hands trembled. He said, "You're so beautiful." I looked down and said, "Please don't look at me the way the others do. I didn't choose this. I was forced into it." I told him I hated this life. I didn't want to be touched. I wanted to be free. For the first time, someone actually listened. He said, "I understand." One day, Denise took me to a hotel. She said someone special wanted to meet me. We walked into the lobby. I saw a woman sitting near the window. She smiled at me. I looked away. My legs were shaking. Denise went to speak with a man nearby. The woman walked over to me. She said, "Hi, sweetheart, are you okay?" I didn't know if I should answer. She told me her name was Grace. She offered me food. I stayed silent. Then Denise grabbed my arm. She whispered, "Go to room 305. Don't ask questions." As Denise pulled me away, Grace slipped a small piece of paper into my hand. She whispered, "Call me if you're ever scared." I gripped the paper tightly, climbed the stairs, my heart breaking with every step. I knocked on the door. A man opened it. He smiled in a way that made my skin crawl. I looked back. Denise was already gone. I walked in. The door closed behind me. Once again, I felt something inside me die. Every time it happened, I lost a little more of myself. I didn't know how much longer I could survive this. Time passed. I turned 22. Denise told people I was her niece to hide the truth. One day I was walking down the street when I suddenly collapsed. When I opened my eyes, I was in a hospital. A nurse asked where my mother was. I whispered, "She's not coming." The doctor walked in and gave me news that crushed me completely. He said, "You're pregnant." My heart stopped. Tears fell. I didn't want this. I never chose this. I was forced into it. I covered my face with my hands. I felt trapped all over again. I remembered the paper Grace had given me. I called her. I said, "Grace, I'm at the hospital. Please come." She asked, "What happened? Are you okay?" I begged her, "Please come. I can't do this alone." Grace arrived fast. She ran to me and took my hand. When the doctor said I was pregnant, Grace was stunned. Her eyes filled with tears. She whispered, "I am so sorry." I cried and said, "I don't want this baby, I want to be free." Grace said, "You are strong, you are not alone. None of this is your fault." Grace brought me to a safe home. It was the first time I had my own bed, my own space, and a door with a lock. For the first time, I could sleep without fear. I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Peace. I started to heal. Grace gave me love and care. One day she got a phone call. Her face changed. She looked at me seriously and said, "Hannah, someone called. A nurse saw your photo. It brought back a memory." She looked confused. My heart started racing. I knew something big was coming. Grace sat beside me and took a deep breath. She said, 23 years ago, a woman named Karen Bennett gave birth to a baby girl at Lakeside Hospital. That same night, the baby was stolen. The mother was found dead. I froze. I couldn't move. I asked, "Are you telling me that baby was me?" Grace nodded. She showed me a photo, a baby with my eyes, my nose, my face. My lips trembled, tears streamed down my cheeks. My whole life I believed I was unwanted, but I had been stolen. I had been torn away from love. I learned that Denise was never my mother. She was a criminal. She went to prison. I never visited her. I never wanted to see her again. I started a new life. I began to heal. Sometimes the nightmares still come back, but I am no longer that frightened girl. I am no longer that broken girl. I am Karen's daughter. I found myself. I found the truth. I was not garbage. I was not weak. I had worth. I was alive. I was becoming whole again. My story was only just beginning. This story is for every girl who feels hurt, scared, or lost. You are more than your body. You are more than your pain. You have worth. You are not alone. Your past does not define your future. You can change your life. You are not weak. You are strong. You are not broken forever. You are not a mistake. No one has the right to use you. Your body is yours. Your life is yours. Never hand it over to fear. Never hand it over to pain. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be safe. If this story moved you, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let this story reach the people who need it most. Let every broken heart know that healing is real. Hope is possible, and no one is ever truly alone.